All right, in this video, we're going to go over solving quadratic equations by factoring, okay? In order to do that, we're going to have to use something called the zero product property. In essence, what the zero product property says is if you've got two values that you're multiplying together, a times b, and that product is zero, then one of these two factors, a, has to be zero, or b, the other factor, has to be zero, or there's the potential that both of those factors could be zero, all right? This works for more than two factors. If you have three factors multiplying together to be zero, then any of those three or all of those three factors could be zero, okay? And we're going to use that property when we solve quadratics by factoring, okay? First thing you want to do is make sure the quadratic is in standard form, okay? X squared minus 8x plus 12, okay? We want everything on one side. We want set equal to 0 on the other side, okay? Now, hopefully we can factor this. If not, then you can't solve this equation by factoring. But all three of these examples can be solved by factoring, okay? So let's factor this trinomial, okay? So when I factor that, I should get x minus 6 times x minus 2, all right? And we still have 0 on the right side. So what I want to do is I want to take the first factor, and I want to set it equal to 0. And then I want to solve that equation. So x equals 6 is my first solution. Again, as always, check your work. Plug 6 in here for x and 6 in here for x. You're going to see that that's true. Okay, so x equals 6 is one of my solutions. Next thing we want to do is we want to set x minus 2 equal to 0. And then I want to solve that simple little equation, and I get x equals 2. Same thing. Plug it in for both these x's. Do the math. Check your work. You'll see that that's a solution. Okay, so if you can factor a trinomial, quadratic trinomial, okay, then you can solve by factoring. All right, so pause the video, solve B, okay? We want to move the 24 over to the left side first, then try to factor, okay? Give C a try, get everything on the left side, set it equal to 0, factor, and then find your two solutions, okay? I think both these have two solutions. All right, in B, first thing I want to do is I want to move this 24 over to the left side of the equation so it becomes negative when moved to the left side, okay? This quadratic trinomial can be factored. It's going to be x plus 8 times x minus 3, okay? Take the first factor, x plus 8, set it equal to 0, and solve that equation. So my first solution is going to be negative 8, okay? Use the zero product property again, take x minus 3, set it equal to 0, solve what's left over, and I get my second solution, x equals positive 3, all right? And C here, let's move these two terms over to the left side. That gives me 3x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals 0, okay? Factor this trinomial if you can. Trial and error, guess and check, or you can use one of those methods that I showed you how to use. So when I factor that, I get 3x minus 5 times x plus 1, okay? So take the first factor, set it equal to 0, and solve. Okay, so first thing I want to do is add 5 to both sides. That gives me 3x equals 5, and then divide by 3, and I get x equals 5/3. So that's my first solution for this equation. Next, I want to set the other factor equal to 0 using the zero product property. Solve, and I get x equals negative 1. Okay, so that's how you solve quadratic equations by factoring.